At Racer Technology, the factory line runs 24/7. Heavy machines consume high kilowatts of electricity to make products including COVID-19 test kits, hearing aids, and smart wearables. Racer is making plans to switch to solar energy as higher electricity bills become a concern in the coming months.
My power supply is about 30,000 a month. If I'm not under the contract, which is going to expire soon, I will have to pay about 68,000 to 70,000 a month, which is about 3 times higher.
The switch to solar will save Racer 15% on its electricity costs. It's already implemented 5-day work weeks for office staff to save on aircon use. But as a permanent fix, it's moving most of its heavy equipment to factories overseas.
We need to consider long-term plan and power look into how best way to cost down. In terms of scheduling, Factory 4.0, you don't see your real time. You can actually run even 1 shift or 2 shifts with proper management because now you have data to look into it.
Racer Technology is among firms that are now rethinking the way they operate.
End of last year, a few of the electricity providers ran out of business. Some SMEs ran out of contracts. It's not been uniform. But I think that, with the sustained high electricity prices over the next remaining part of this year, more and more would be impacted as the rest of the economy gets affected.
In the space of a year, Singapore's energy benchmarks quadrupled due to high fuel prices and supply disruptions. 6 electricity retailers exited the market as wholesale electricity prices soared. 2 others prematurely terminated some of their customers' contracts. At the same time, electricity tariffs for households also rose.
The outlook for Singapore's electricity market over the next few months ahead is not very optimistic. That there's pressure on energy commodities, natural gas and oil, that will not dissipate in a hurry.
Commercial businesses in Singapore have the option to tap into the open electricity market or buy from electricity retailers.
We have a futures market for electricity within Singapore. We see that prices are tending to converge to just around 300, 320 at the moment. Now, it constantly changes. This would suggest that prices going a little higher still, maybe another 10 to 15%.
In 2020, industrial-related sectors were the largest electricity consumers in Singapore, followed by those in commerce and services. So far, businesses in the food and beverage, manufacturing and retail sectors are feeling the brunt of rising electricity costs.
Many businesses are kind of running very, very thin, or in some cases, they may be bleeding. We were hoping that the supply chain shocks would stabilize. But the war and the electricity prices has kind of put a bit of a spanner into this whole stabilization.
Eventually, consumers will likely start feeling the ripple effects of rising electricity costs.
SMEs typically try their best to absorb the costs, but I think this year we will start, passing on the costs. And you have already seen in some cases, hawker centers, your coffee is going up by 10 cents, 20 cents.
To help firms, the government is extending a scheme that allows companies to secure fixed price plans until June this year. Companies looking to avert volatility in the wholesale electricity market are also tapping into renewable energy retailers like Flow Energy as an option. Flow Energy started in 2020 and began offering its services in January last year. It buys into future contracts to secure stable electricity prices for clients.
The moment the customer signs up with us, we buy all the electricity upfront so that we do not have to worry about rising electricity prices while trying to meet the demand of our customers. We've grown from 0% to approximately now supplying 2% of all the electricity consumed here in Singapore.
Experts say the choice to buy wholesale or go for fixed contracts all depends on a company's risk appetite.
It's better probably to be planning for the high costs and seeing what needs to be done if they become a little bit more permanent.
It will still serve the SMEs to continue to look at how they can transform themselves, move ahead with their digitalization plan.
For Racer Technology, the plan to move its heavy equipment overseas is just part of reinventing its Singapore hub.
I will still keep some here. It's mostly for R&D, training purpose, trial run build, prototype build. Gone are the days that we follow the old way of doing things. I think it should be lean, it should be creative.